number 4, a lot of kids came into the advisory and they were working on number 4 and they were having a really difficult time with it. So let's go ahead and solve it. Why not? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and number the equations 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to take a look at my coefficients. So we have a x here. We have a -4, -5, -3. Not going to deal with that at all. +5, +4, +5. None of them have negatives. I don't want that either. We have a +1, okay, and a +6 and a -6. We already look. We can at least get rid of one variable without, one of the, we could create the fourth equation without doing anything. So I'm going to get rid of z. That's my attack plan, okay? So that means my second equation is a -5x plus 4y plus 6z equals 4. And my third equation is a -3x plus 5y minus 6z equals -1. You combine the two, okay, you end up with a -8x plus 9y. You have a +6 and a -6. That cancels out, and a 3. This is my fourth equation, okay? Let's see what else I'm going to combine. I can do 1 or 2, but I end up having to multiply one of the equations by a negative. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do 1 and 3, okay? Let's go ahead and do 1 and 3. 1 is -4x plus 5y plus c equals -2, and 3 is a -3x plus 5y minus 6c. This equals -1. Okay, to eliminate z, which was our original plan, to eliminate z, what do I need to do? Well, this is a -6. I need to make this a +6, which means I'm going to multiply both sides by a 6. Okay, so I end up with a new first equation, which is a -24x plus 30y plus 6z equals -12. Now, when we combine the two equations, we get a -27x plus 35y. These z's cancel out, and we end up with a -13. This right here is my fifth equation. Okay? Now, we have now two equations with just two variables, the two same variables. Let's go ahead and rewrite it. This is where everybody got stuck. They're like, oh, we don't want to do too much work, but look at this one. We have to do a lot of work. Well, sometimes things get hard and you just fight through it, okay? Just asked Ariana. She was working on one problem during the entire advisory, and then she finally figured it out all by herself, and I'm really proud of her. Good job, Ariana. Okay, so let's take a look at both of these equations. I'm going to get rid of y, okay? I'm going to get rid of y. If you have 35 is made up of a 7 and a 5, and that's a 3 and a 3. So really there is no really within the factors, there's really no least common multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 and I'm going to multiply it by a 35, and I'm going to take 5, whoops, this is not numbered, and I'm going to multiply it by -9, okay? That way we end up with 35 times 9, which is a 315. Whoa, that's going to be our coefficient of y. Okay, so my new fourth equation is going to be a -8 times 35, which is a -280x, and a plus 315y equals 3 times 35, which is a 105. Okay, my fifth equation is now going to be a negative 9 times 27, or a negative 27, which is going to give you a 243x. And then that should give you a negative 315y equals 13 times 9. Negative 13 times 9 is a positive 117. I'm just going to check all my work, okay? So we have 8 times 35, 9 times 35, 3 times 35. Okay, make sure I check my signs. Okay, and then I have a negative 9 times negative 27, 35 times negative 9, and then we have a negative 13 times negative 9. Okay, now let's go ahead and combine these two. Whew, are you with me? Okay, we have a negative 280 plus 243, so that's going to give you a negative 37x. The y's cancel out, and then we have a 105 plus 117, which is a 222. Okay, let's go ahead and divide both sides by 37. Negative 37, sorry. So x ends up being a negative 222 divided by 37. I used a calculator, is a negative 6. We have our first variable with all that work. Good job. Now we need to find our second variable. I can either use 4 or 5. I'm going to use 4. Okay, let's go ahead and use 4. So we have a negative 8x plus 9y equals 3. And negative 8 times negative 6 plus 9y equals 3. So 8 times 6 is 48. 48 plus 9y equals 3. Subtract 48. It's a 9y equals negative 45. Divide both sides by a 9. So y equals 45 divided by 9 is a negative 5. We have our second variable. Now, guys, okay, let's go ahead and use one of the equations up here to get ourselves a z. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to use number 1. Let's go ahead and just use number 1. So that's a negative 4x plus 5y plus z equals negative 2. So that is a negative 4 times negative 6 plus 5 times negative 5 plus z equals negative 2. So that's a 24 minus 25 plus z equals negative 2 is negative 1 plus z equals negative 2. Add 1 to it. So we have a z equals negative 1. Look at that. Look how neat and beautiful that is. Well, my work is. I don't know about yours. Okay. So our final answer is a negative 6, a negative 5, and a negative 1. Okay. And guys, that was like a 9-minute video. And good job.